G'day guys, it's Puvor here. Just wanted to share with you an attack style that I've been playing with lately using dragons and minions. The reason I like this attack is because while dragons are devastating, I think that the weakness of the dragon attack is the fact that dragons wander. And I've been looking at ways of trying to minimize that wandering and make them focus on the targets I want them to go after. And I think minions are good for that because they behave the same way as dragons, so they go for the next available target. But because they're faster, they tend to get to those targets faster and they take them out before the dragons can get there. And if you place them well, it means that the dragons will be focused back in towards the center, which is generally where you want them to go. So I'm just going to show you a replay of an attack I did a little while ago on a Town Hall 8 base. And why don't we just go through the planning for this attack. So obviously there's a clan castle and a barbarian king, but I don't really care about those because I'm going all air, so the barbarian king is irrelevant. And the clan castle is going to get burned up by the dragons as they come through. Second thing, the most concerning thing in a dragon attack, of course, is your air defenses. So we can see there's three. There's one or two up near the top. And I want to target those early with my dragons. And ideally, I'd like to get two groups of dragons going in and taking those out simultaneously to minimize the losses of dragons. So I've got to figure out a way to do that. Then there's another one down the south, and the last air defense is usually the one that kills a dragon attack, because if the dragons aren't focused on it, they can just kind of pick them off one by one, and you get yourself to 90 or 95%, and the air defense just wipes you out. So because this air defense is close to the edges of the walls, what I want to do there is bring in some hog riders to jump over the walls and take it out at some point. Now you'll notice there's a couple of gaps either side of that air defense, which means there's probably spring traps there. So those hog riders probably aren't going to survive, but I'm happy to sacrifice them in order to keep the attack alive. Now to maximize the chances of taking out that air defense, my plan is to wait until the dragons who are coming in from the north start to get picked up by these two archer towers and by the wizard and maybe even by the air defense. And once those defenses are distracted, I'm going to put my hogs in so they're not getting shot at too terribly much, and they've got a better chance of taking out that air defense. So that's my general plan, but as far as the dragons go, as I say, I want to have two groups, one going for this air defense, one going for that air defense. How am I going to do that? If I put dragons in near this army camp here, there's a risk that they're going to wander to the builder's hut, the gold mine, and I'm just going to completely lose because the air defense will take them out completely. So what I want to do is make sure I've got some minions coming in and taking out these buildings before the dragons get to them, so the dragons are more likely to come in and focus on the air defense. Similarly on this side, if I drop some dragons by this elixir collector, there's a risk they're going to go wander, and I'm never going to get to that air defense, and I'm going to get completely wiped out by everything. So my plan is to bring them in from the north, right near this central barracks, and drop a few minions along the sides to break up that chain of buildings on the outside and make sure that the dragons go in towards the center. Okay, so I've got about 20 minions, and I'm going to use them to try and take out these buildings early. You'll see I didn't do it quite perfectly, but it worked pretty well. And then I guess the last thing I got to consider is, how do I make sure that my dragons don't bunch up and that they stay in my two defined groups? Well, my plan here is to drop 4 minions on this barracks, first of all, to cut the link between this elixir collector and this elixir collector. And then I'm going to drop 2 groups of dragons, 2 groups of 4, hitting this elixir collector and that elixir collector. And what I'm expecting is going to happen is, on this side, I'll have dragons go from here to here to here, and then hopefully moving straight in on the archer tower, air defense, and wizard tower. On the other side, I'm expecting the dragons are going to go from here to here. There's probably going to be a Tesla near that cannon, but they're going to move fairly quickly towards the cannon, and the air defense. I'm going to use healing spells to protect them, because I find that with healing spells, when you're being shot at by air defense, it slows down the rate that the air defense can take out your first dragon, and so it just keeps shooting at that dragon while the rest of your dragons are protected and come in and take it out. So that's my plan. Let's have a look at how it goes. Okay, so like I said, first move is drop 4 minions. Take out that barracks. 2 groups of 4 dragons, and then I'm going to drop some minions around the side to try and break the chain of buildings. I was a little bit late getting this going, and I encountered an air bomb, which kind of stuffed things up a little bit. But we'll see how it goes. 1 dragon starts to wander on the right, 1 dragon on the left, but those minions are getting ahead of that dragon and forcing him back into the center. So I've still got about 6 dragons coming down to the middle. 1's gone. Both air defenses are out. Now I'm starting to bear in on the town hall. Now there's a lot of heavy things to get through here, so I'm going to drop a rage spell in the center to try and churn through that quickly. Make sure I get the town hall. And then you'll notice down the south, I dropped my barbarian king. I'm doing this just to clear buildings out, make sure there's no bombs for my hog riders to step on. And now my hogs are going to come in, take out that air defense, and the barbarian king is going to keep wandering about and doing a bit of damage. I like to bring my barbarian king in quite late. Sometimes I keep him in reserve because it's another way that you can get dragons to turn back in towards the center if you drop the barbarian king in a place where he's going to break that chain of outside buildings. But I also like him to survive till the end of the attack and contribute to the attack in a meaningful way. I find if I bring him in too early, often he gets blown away really quickly and he doesn't do as much damage as he can do. And I guess the other risk with dragons is that there's a possibility that you're going to run out of time, and if you've got extra troops coming in and contributing, it minimizes the risk of running out of time. So there you go.